Hi, this is Allie from Allie Katz Crafts. I'm here to show you another video from the Paper Pumpkin Full of Charm, June 2025. And this is what I came up with. I used some pieces from the kit, and then I used the sentiment label thing and a piece of this paper to make this card. So that's the outside and that's the inside. And this, where I got that from, was when I did a previous video and I made my own paper. I said I'll use it for something, so I cut off little over half an inch, but not quite 3/4 of an inch, and I used that right there. I will use more of that paper for something else. So that's the card we're making. So I just want to show you, this is the piece that we're using. I did cut it up to make it. So I used the first half on here. On the next card, I'm using the second half. So what I did was, for this one, I cut that off right there. And then I cut this off and set it aside, because that's going to go on the next card. Then I cut there and went all the way there, and that's how I got that one. So you can see that one and that one. Okay? So then I'm taking the rest of this one, which you can see goes right there and there. So I'm going to use those for the next card. So I was able to get 2 cards out of this particular thing. So if you did all of them the same, you could get 2, 4, 6 cards out of these, because you have 3 of these in your kit, if you chose to. So that's the card, and that's the envelope. Okay, very fun card and envelope. Here's the cutting directions. So what I did was I embossed this one, and I can't remember the color, what it was. I tend to say green or light green, you know. Let me look at it. Okay, it is mint macaron. See, mint macaron, and I think that's a retired color. And I'm so sorry, but I use what I have, especially when I want to go a certain way on a card. That's what's really cool. The embossing folder I used was the Star. Had it out. Oh, here it is. I have it. I set it aside in a different spot. 3D flowers. And so I embossed this one. And then I cut this out of the card base. The half of this one. I'm able to get 2 cards out of it. So there's 1/2. Well, not actually 1/2. I cut it smaller. So the card base is 5.5, which is right here, by 8.5, scored in half and folded. The paper pumpkin base, which is this one, is 1.25 by 4 1/8. The embossed one is 2.5 by 4 1/8. So those are the measurements. And always the small one is this one that goes down. Okay? For this particular card, I should say. And the bigger one is that one. Okay? So we are going to start by getting our card base. Yeah, that's the card base. That's the envelope. And we're going to start gluing our things down. So we're going to start with this guy first. Actually, yes, I want to do that first, because I want this to overlap like that. So I purposely did this one a little bit bigger so that I could do that overlap and not have like a middle that's not there. So remember, it's embossed. You need to put a little extra glue on it, but not too much. A good glue. The Stampin' Up! Green glue is very good, but it's kind of sticky if you get it out of the lines, get on your paper. So I prefer art glitter glue, but there's many kinds of glues that go out. I know Allie's Creation uses the, it's called PVC art glue. I think that's what it is. And she says it's really good. And I think one day I will try it. So I always like to try new glues just to see. So I'm going to put this up here. kind of like me. I swear by my glue. She swears by hers. And, you know, we get what we like. That's the thing. Is that what we like is what we want. So you're going to glue this one next. But I want to do something first. So right now, I didn't show you everything I had. I also have these from the card kit. And I have a butterfly. I also have the sequence that we're going to use. But I used something because I did not have any Stampin' Up! Thing. I use this thing called seam binding. I've used this for years. And there's some other stuff that you can get from Stampin' Up! That's really good. And it's a white ribbon. And you could color it the color you want. Notice how this one is the berry burst color. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap of paper. I'm going to lay it out. Then I'm going to get my marker. Let me think. Where did I put it? I had it here a second ago. Sorry about that, ladies. I will go get it over here. I must have put it away without thinking about it. So I'm going to grab the blender markers this time because it dries fast. So you have the light and the dark. And I use the dark, so I will get it out, use the brush side, and you're going to color your ribbon. And with the blender marker, it'll blend in really nice. And it's going to be a little wet, but because it's an alcohol marker, it'll dry really fast. So my ribbon is colored. So if you have a certain color that you want on your cards and you don't have that ribbon, you can make your own ribbon. That's what's really cool. And I saw this is kind of light right there. There we go. And it doesn't take very long, so we're going to set that aside and let that dry. And we'll continue to work on the card. It won't take very long, trust me. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take, you know what, I should have, let me lift this up a little bit. No, it's okay. I should have put it behind the card, but I didn't think about it. In between the layers. But we could do it, there's another way to do it, it's not a big deal. So we're going to glue this down, get it nice and even. So it goes all the way across. And you're going to put it down. Now you're going to take your little flowers and you're going to decide where you want them. So I left a little space so I could take and just tuck it in like that. You're going to put that one there and that one there. But these are popped up a little bit. So you know where you want them. So you're going to grab your dimensionals right here. Nope, those are the little ones. I want the bigger ones. I like them better for this surface because it's a big surface. Let me see. I'm looking for them. I just had them a second ago. Huh. Well, I guess I'll have to use my other ones. Let me see. I know I have some in here. Darn it, I have a drawer in here. Oh, there they are. There's some new ones. Okay. I knew I had some. Just like, where are they? So I'm going to take and put one up there. So you want to take and put it down here where it's flat. And you want the top to kind of be popped up. So I'm going to put the dimensionals right there. I'm going to cut this guy in half. So it'll be popped out. And then this one right there. And then I'm going to grab one for this one. Grab my little side piece. And stick that right there. Okay. So then we'll take that, take all the little backings off. I try to prepare a lot of it in advance, but still show you the techniques so that you can see the video without spending like 45 minutes watching it. But sometimes that's inevitable, depending on what the card is. So now you're going to take it, just kind of like stick that down there. You don't want to hang it off your card, so you just kind of, the ribbon will cover up a bunch of that, but you want to stick it down there like that, okay? Just kind of bring it over. And this one, I think it will look really good like that. And because this is going to get tucked in there just a tiny bit, and I want this leaf to lie flat, so I'll put a little bit of glue there, hold it down because it's on the embossed area. Okay, now my ribbon should be ready, so now I will take my ribbon and I will figure out how long it is. This is a little bit harder way to do it because I did not do it when I did the first card. I laid out the pieces and it worked really good. Whereas this one, I glued it down too soon. I was excited to do the card with you. But you can do this too. You just have to have really good sharp scissors. That's the first thing. And throw this in the trash so it'll work. So now you're going to take, and that's going to go layered right over there. So grab your tear and tape. And I want a nice thick one. And you're going to run it right across here. You want it to, let me trim this. I think it's better to do that. Sometimes it's better. I'll just cut this off. I'll take and I'll lay it down right to the edge. Lift up my leaves. Stick it right there, all the way down, and then trim it off. Okay. And then press it down really good. You should be able to pull the backing back off. Where's my taker pick? Here it is. Okay. Then you're going to grab your ribbon and you'll start at one end and make sure that it's nice and go real slow. You don't have to rush. When I teach people cards, I say there's no rush. Just take your time. You want your card to look nice? Take your time. So now you have ribbon right across there. And it's the same color as the ink and everything. And that's what's really cool about getting white ribbon and doing that. If you use the alcohol markers, it dries really fast. So we have that much done. Now let's bring in our scrap of paper and we're going to stamp our sentiment and do some little blending there, and we'll color our butterfly. So we're going to grab let me first put the lid on this so it doesn't dry out. Because you don't want to, that's a little tip, if you don't keep something in it or close somehow, it kind of gets clogged up real easy. So there we go. Move some of this stuff out of the way. I don't like being crowded when I craft. So remember, there's the measurements. So we're going to get our ink. Hold on, I just got ink on my finger. I keep a whole bunch of baby wipes right next to me. I'm a very messy crafter sometimes, just so you know. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this one. I want the happy birthday. So I'm gonna step off to make sure, oh, it looks good. I'm gonna put that right across here. Even it out as best I can. Hold it down, and oh, that turned out good. I like that. Press a little bit too much on that side, but that's okay. It's not bad. So I'm gonna grab this Berry Burst. I'm gonna grab my little, actually, yeah, I think I'll do, no, I don't wanna do that. I wanna do this. Stamp it off a couple times and then go on there. Go on there again. Oops, stuck to it. Just kind of making like a little background so it's not so plain. See, now it's not so plain. You know, while I have this out, I think I should, that's all prepared for that. Let's do our envelope. So I'm gonna stamp off and stamp on. Very simple, easy thing to do. And there we go. The envelope's all decorated. Close my ink. Get my cleaner out real quick. Oh, I will need that ink again. I forgot. Hold on 1 second. There we go. That's clean. I have to get do my butterfly. Forgot about him. Poor guy. He's all left behind, huh? Okay, so I'm going to grab this one. And I'm going to speckle my butterfly. Okay. Grab my blender brush. And do a little bit of color on it. Okay. See? Butterfly looks cute. I like him. Then I'm going to grab my blender pens, so I have it handy here, and color his little antennas. I love these antennas. They're so cute. Okay, let's close our ink. And then we will get out with this card. I did something a little bit different with the butterfly. Instead of using the pearls, I used these guys. So I'm going to put some of these guys on the butterfly. I felt it needed a little bit of really blingy. Just something different. So I'll get them nice and even. And I will get my glue and glue my butterfly down. She is so cute. I love butterflies. And I'll put her right there. She's just being all cute up there in the corner. Okay. So now I will use my dimensionals and do my happy birthday. Stick them up on dimensionals. One there and one there. And I think I need, you know what, this one needs to be the other end. And the one in the middle. Okay. So let's put this right there. And you have some greenery here. And I will glue it under here. And then I will take and put a little glue on the back of this leaf right here, so it looks like it's wrapped around, and hook it up to that. And that's about it. Well, I need to bring this leaf. He's kind of hanging off the card. I don't want it to hang off. So I'll put a little bit of glue right there, and I'll stick it down. Well, I didn't put glue down. I thought I did. Tiny bit of glue, and move it where I want it, and stick it down. Okay. So now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to put it up under here, so it fits up under there. Have that little leaf kind of go over the top. So I'll put some glue under the bottom. And stick it there. So you can still see the happy birthday. And this leaf could hang out there if it wants to, or whatever it wants to do. And I'll put glue right there and stick that one down. That way everybody's stuck down. And this is bent. I'm going to fix that. There we go. So there's the card. Let's take and put some gold embellishments. And like I said, I got this from the card kit. Put one right there. And I didn't use it, and then I realized, wait, I have those, I better use them. So then I pulled them out and started using them. Put one right there. So 3 of them. Last but not least, remember that designer paper that I made? I cut off a strip. It's 5.5 by, let's measure it. It's 1/2 inch. I will glue it down. So when you make your GSP, you can always find a use for it. It's just like regular GSP, but you got the colors that you want. So there's the inside. And here's the envelope. And here's the original. And I used one part of the thing, one on one side and one on the other, from this piece right here. So like I said, I took and I cut it, went around that one, and that's how I got that piece. Then I cut that little piece off and it went over there. And then I cut this one and put it right there. But notice how this is went around nicely? I took all that off. I went around it and went down over the leaf. And then I went up under there to make it look like there's no white background. So I just kind of cut it up to make it work for me. So here's my card for Paper Pumpkin, the other alternate. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.